Now, you've typed in googlecompass.com and come to this website. Go across to Draw Multi-Legged Route, select that, and it will take you to this page. I've typed in Ceduna Airport. Type in any destination that you want there to go to, and submit, and it's taken us directly to Ceduna Airport first time. Okay, I just clicked on the enlarged map, which gives me a little bit more detail. Now on the screen you see a handle. I can click and drag that map around. You'll see in the bottom right here, there's a scale here that's about a centimetre, which equals 200 metres on this scale. So every centimetre on this map represents walking about 200 metres. It's probably a little bit bigger than a centimetre. And as I zoom in and zoom out with the slider, you'll see that scale change. So that centimetre, centimetre and a half, maybe two, not quite, represents 500 metres. So I set it to about 200 metres as my preferred setting. And I get this right and go the right way. There we go, back to 200 metres. That will give me the level of information that I want for this exercise. Now, this also is a navigation bar which moves the map around, but it's easy to grab it and move it. Show compass, select that, and a compass pops up. And because I selected Ceduna Airport, it's dropped it right on top. But if you want to move it, grab it by this handle, the centre spot here. It's a little bit tricky to get used to, and it will take you a few attempts before you get this right, but I can click and drag that. So I want to start my trip at the airport in this case, so I'll just start it at where that little plane symbol is, and that should have let go, located the compass to the map. Now you'll see this a bit more clearly when you're doing the exercise, but there is a black ring here with the list of bearings of 360 degrees of the compass measurement as you go around it. It is clearer when you're doing the exercise, but you can see maybe around there the arrow is intersecting with that 300 degree bearing on that black ring. Now, let's say I want to go across to the left there to the Highway 1 Motel and Roadhouse. I just take a rough aim with the compass and I click with the mouse, and that should set it as it does. I just like to use around that black ring or inside here works best. I am using an Apple Mac computer, and sometimes these business programs are made for IBM type computers. They don't work terribly well, but get used to it. Menu, select menu, and I go down to resize arrow by slider. I see a slider pop up on the top right. Also the compass bearing here, 300 degrees, which is about what we estimated of that. But you'll see now when I move that slider, the arrow extends. You can see I'm way off course in my guess, but that's okay. That's important because this arrow actually measures the distance for you that you would have to walk, and the assumption that you're walking in a straight line. So roughly I just set it to where I reckon it's going to bump into the roadhouse. I go back to my compass, click somewhere in this black ring, and click again because I'm not used to this. It always seems to cause me issue. When I'm lined up with the Highway 1 Roadhouse there, I click again. It should lock the compass in place. Go back to my slider, extend that arrow, and that's about perfect. That's going to take me right to the Petrol Bowser, it looks like. No, take me right to the roadhouse there. And the assumption again that I walk in a straight line. So when I've got that, I click on this button in the top right, draw a route. It gives me the coordinates, the latitude and longitude coordinates of the map. 32, 7, 26. 32 degrees, 7 minutes, 26 seconds. South, longitude, 133 degrees. So that's the actual location of my start point. This is the actual location, destination, latitude and longitude. That's the coordinates for my endpoint for the roadhouse. The other bit of information here is that the magnetic declination is 5 degrees 32 minutes 60 seconds, which is roughly 5.5 degrees, because there's 60 degrees to make up, 60 minutes to make up a degree, I should say. Now what this means is, because magnetic north, if you're sitting up in the North Pole, magnetic north is a long way away from true north. So the maps don't line up with magnetic north. So your compass bearing isn't correct according to your map. And that's because magnetic north does move around inside the Earth the way that the lava or magma or whatever it is inside the Earth's core affects magnetic north. So those allowances that need to be made actually change over time. But at the moment, for Ceduna, the information is given to you. It's about 5.5 degrees. So you've got to actually grab your compass, set up your compass, get your bearings off your map, and then turn the compass anti-clockwise about 5.5 degrees. But this program will do that automatically for you. Next point is 2.96 kilometers is the distance. So it's just a bit of a walk, less than 3 kilometers, on the assumption that you can walk in that straight line, but obviously there will be things to avoid, obstacles and things, but as the crow flies, 2.96 kilometers. The true or map bearing is 292 degrees, and the compass bearing that you'll need to set on your compass takes off this 5.5 degrees, as mentioned, to give you 286.5 degrees or thereabouts. Click OK and it will automatically subtract, so you'll see the compass do this for you. Okay, and it's actually swung the compass back anti-clockwise, subtracted, or turned to anti-clockwise. The bearing, so when you set up your compass from the map, subtract that 5.5 degrees. So when you follow your compass from the airport, it will take you bang on to the Highway 1 Roadhouse. Okay, so the software is doing it all for you, which is rather nice. If we click on this top right, move to the next, it will actually take our compass automatically to that destination point, which will make it the new start point. So let's say we want to go to the, we're headed to the golf course. That looks like a nice place to go. So we swing our compass around till we go over the top. That red line goes to the golf course. Oops. Just there. Okay, click and hold, click and lock, and there's our golf course. So now we need to grab that slider, slide it all the way back until we've got that distance setting right. If we click now on draw route, okay, here's our new starting point, the roadhouse. Here's our new destination point. That 5.5 degrees, that needs to be subtracted. 0.8 kilometers, which is about 800 meters. And our true or map bearing is 160 degrees. Our compass bearing, 154.5 degrees, 27 minutes 36 seconds is about 0.5 degree. So we click OK, and let's just see the compass swing anti-clockwise, so that our new bearing will take us exactly to that point. You sort of have to imagine it's like grabbing the map and swinging the true north, the North Pole of the map where the map points to, and just turning the map a little bit clockwise so that it lines up with the compass magnetic north. Now, that's a little bit complex. I hope it makes sense. But the point is, there's a difference between true north or grid north from the map and magnetic north. And this software automatically works that for you. Okay, so move to the next point. The compass will take you there. And this is where we can be as accurate as we possibly can. Let's just head back to the airport for our return trip. I'll line it up pretty much there. Set the slot. Oh, look at that. Pretty good, pretty good. Comes out to be pretty close to our exact starting point. This is where you'll see how accurate these coordinates can be. Okay, I click on draw route. Again, it's our start coordinates, 5.5 degrees, which we have to allow for the fact that the compass north, magnetic north, and grid north, or the map north, don't line up, so you have to wiggle them around a little bit. The distance, 2.5 kilometres, 2.49 kilometres, 98 degree bearing, and adjusted bearing 92.5 degrees or thereabouts. And click OK, and it will do it for us. Now, okay, we'll just move to the next. I'll actually stop there. I'll just go to the menu. In fact, I'll just turn this compass off. No, I lost my menu. I'll turn it back on. Go to the menu. View print route information. Click on that and you will see this. This is going to be your record that you've done this exercise, which we're going to need. But as an interesting example, our start point and our finish point is the airport. So these latitudes and longitudes should measure exactly the same. So we can see how close we did how accurate we did our measurements. So latitude 32,726.6, our end point 32,725.3. So we're about 1 second, which is about 1/360th of a degree off our target in terms of latitude, and our longitude 133.42.6, 133.40.32. So we're a minute and a half, 30.2. Oh no, we're only, maths isn't too good today, but we're about 10 seconds. So over that distance, I would think that's probably 1 or 2 meters we're out of accurate, which obviously isn't going to affect the exercise. We're still at the airport, we know where we are. 6.24 kilometers for the whole trip. So all your information there, all the settings, the data points, latitudes and longitudes are all listed for us. So what I'll get you to do is to print that, and you can print that in 2 ways. Eventually, when my computer catches up, run a printout, obviously out the printer, but if you could click on the PDF button and save it as a PDF, which means you'll be able to save it and email it or have it there in electronic copy as well. So if you could do that, that would be great. I'll just close that. The final thing that I'd like you to do is file and just print this page. What I'll actually do is turn the compass off, because I know that has made trouble for me with a Macintosh in the past. Click on print. I'll just preview that. Okay, there it is. It's actually cut off a little bit out here, but that really won't matter for the sake of this exercise. But this will serve as evidence also for your work. So if you could print off a PDF and save that, as well as print off a hard copy. And that will serve to complete that exercise.